11, bring revenue into the interview conversation. This is so missed by 99% of all people that we interview. Understand the most important thing to every company in the world, including every charitable organization, every department, every manager, every owner, is big R. Revenue. Revenue. Income. Sales. Customers. Incoming. Okay? Whether you're the accounting department, the shipping department, the internet department, e-commerce department, you name it. HR department. If you can bring revenue into the interview, into the presentation, to get in front of the HR department, in front of the manager, there is not a company in the world, from A to Z, that is not interested in revenue, customers, opportunities. If you can bring the concept, or when you bring the concept of increasing revenue, customers, flows, making it easier to get revenue, customers, and flows, somehow getting connected in the community with new income, new revenue, new flows, new customers, because of the job you take, the position you have, what you're going to be doing, the opportunity every day to sit in an office and bring in new opportunities, new customers, new possibilities. Regardless of your position, you're an engineer in the company, you're a plumber, a contractor, a roofer, you're doing labor, you're knocking nails into a wall, you're putting up plaster. If you can, in this interview, talk about revenue, customers, opportunities, you got the job locked. Nobody does this. HR's never heard it. When I sit down with an HR person, hey, look, in addition to me doing great video for your company, I'm going to be a documentary video person for this new brand. In addition to doing this for you every day, I'm also going to bring you customers, connections, PR. I'm going to bring you attention. I'm going to bring you a distribution. I'm going to bring you possible sponsors. You start talking like that, you go straight to the top of the pile. Remember what I said in the earlier video. You can't be the most intelligent and you can't be the most experienced. But that doesn't mean you can't get the job. Because if you can bring in the revenue, you don't need to be the smartest. And you do not need to have the most experience. You need to bring me the most revenue, the most possibility. Include revenue in your presentation. Include incoming customers and possibility in your presentation. Because no one's doing it in an interview. You know what the other applicants are talking about in the resume. It's on the resume. Where I worked, how long I worked there, what I did for them, why I'm looking for work, why I'm out of work, what I did, where I went to college, blah, blah, and blah. They're being interviewed. They're not selling themselves. They're trying to solve their problem. Okay, the other people being interviewed, they're being interviewed. They're not selling. They're being reactive, not proactive. They're talking about their revenue, not the company's revenue. What are you going to pay me? When do I get time off? What am I talking about? Don't worry about my pay. This company will take care of that. Okay, I'm here to solve problems here. I'm here to plug in as this role. In addition to doing this role, taking out the trash, painting the walls, I'm going to bring you business. I'm going to bring you customers. I know people. I'm connected here. Shift right now. You're going to shift from just doing a job to the possibility of bringing them clients, customers, opportunities. Look, revenue is the God of the marketplace. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Revenue is God. Anytime you have master contractions like we're going through at this moment, every business owner becomes worried. Every manager head becomes worried. Every department becomes worried about one thing. Not the expenses, not lowering the expenses. I mean, the little players worry about their expenses, but the real players worry about one thing. I got to increase my revenue. I got to increase my customer inflow. I got to increase my customer connections. See, I'm not worried about how much money we spend here. I'm worried about how much money can I generate in more revenue. In a contraction, what happens? Everybody worries about the money they're spending. But mostly they worry about the resources, the energy they're spending managing people that are not productive. The first people to get let go in a recession or a contraction are people not connected to revenue. So in your interview, you must enter, particularly in a contraction, you must enter big R. Bring in big R. It's not on the resume. I'm not talking about a resume. Big R. What does R stand for? Revenue, income, customers, customer attraction, PR. Bring that into your interview. Bring it into your sales presentation. If you don't know how to as a receptionist, an engineer, a mechanic, if you don't know how to do that, you got to learn about the revenue game. What does it mean to your household? I don't care what the position is. If you're sweeping floors, painting walls, teacher, doctor, nurse, How can you produce more revenue for the school, the company, the business, the charity? Show them that. Validate that. Show them you're willing to go get that business on the weekends. Executive assistant. I have one right now. I'm like, why don't you make more money here? I don't understand. All the business comes to me. 80% of the business comes through me first. I got all these people coming to me, and you don't pick up any money out of that. Why not? Because they're an executive assistant. So what happens? Contraction comes, let's get rid of an executive assistant. We'll share. 3 of us can share one now. Bring me that revenue, you'll get a job. Show me the revenue, you'll get a job. Bring in customers, you'll get a job. I don't want to do that. That's not really what I want to do. I want to be the shipper. Good, good. Well, you're the first one that's going to go when there's a contraction. Bring revenue into your conversation. Start thinking about how you're the landscaper of the company. You do landscaping. You do landscaping for a big company that's going through a bank that's going through a contraction. Why don't you go to the bank owner, the president of the bank, and say, hey, in addition to do your landscaping, I can also start bringing you business here. Figure out how to do that. Bring revenue into the conversation. Bring revenue into the interview. Figure out how to bring customer inflow. How can you assist the company, regardless of your position that you're being interviewed for? How can you bring more business to the company? Guarantee you'll get the job.